What if losing everything wasn't the end, but an invitation to start over, to actually begin? They say life begins at 30. What they fail to mention is sometimes it has to fall apart at 30 for it to actually start at 30. This is for anyone who finds themselves starting over. I turned 32 this month and I am starting over in so many different ways. I wanted to extend an invitation to you if you feel like you're starting over too, whether that is with your career, with your love life, with your friendships, wherever you may be, and you feel like you're starting over and you've taken a big hit and you're finding it hard to kind of bounce back from that. There's this moment in our lives where everything we worked hard to build starts to slip through our fingers. Our jobs, our identities, our friendships, our circle, our community, and then we're left standing in the rubble wondering, who are we without all of it? Wondering if we are still worthy, having lost everything we worked hard to build. It's devastating. It feels unfair. It's gut-wrenching. It shatters us in so many ways. And the hardest part is having to talk about this with someone who actually understands what it means. It feels like a failure. It feels like we failed ourselves and we failed everybody who was counting on us. Here's the hard truth that I've come to realize, which I didn't want to realize, because really things don't have to fall apart for me to realize this, and I'm sure you can relate. When things fall apart, when we lose everything and we need to start over, it's not that we failed or we lost, because at some point we may have lost a lot. But the truth is this is an opportunity. This is the very thing that will actually set us free. Starting over at 30 carries a certain weight. There's the societal expectation that we should have had it all figured out by now. The career, the family, the friendships, the relationships, the kids, the house, you name it. So when we lose everything, shame starts to creep in. And we are not only ashamed of the loss, we're also feeling ashamed of the fact that we may be behind. It's not enough that we lost everything and now we are behind while everybody else is getting ahead. The question is though, and what I invite you to question or ponder with me, what if you are not behind at all? What if this had to happen the way it did for you to finally begin to live, for your life to finally begin to happen the way you want? Not the way everyone else is expecting you to. Here's the thing, when we lose something, we haven't actually lost it, we are just trading it for something else. This is kind of my way of looking at things now. Also, I know wholeheartedly, I know deep down, and I'm sure that you can find the space in your heart to realize that too. If we have ever lost something that was not good for us, it's not a loss. We've never really lost it. We have been given an opportunity to replace it with something we actually like, with something we actually want. So just that change in perspective alone can really create an expansion around us to receive it, finally, to receive what works, to receive what's aligned. If we lose certainty, we gain choice. Choice to decide what we want instead of what was gone. We create conscious action, conscious choices in the uncertainty. So it's sort of a blank canvas. When we lose identities that don't fit us anymore, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to say, all of that crumbled, and now I have the chance to build, to create the person I am, my personality. How do I want to think? How do I want to talk? How do I want to show up in the world? We gain the space and the opportunity to start working on that. And we get to define who we are on our own terms. When we lose relationships that are not aligned, this one in particular can really be soul crushing. And we've all been there. We've lost someone we care about. And by losing them, I mean the relationship ended. And it feels like we can never replace them. We can never find someone like them. But after some time, when we have healed, when we've moved on, we find that this was never really aligned. This was never really what we wanted. This was never really our person. And so when people leave, or when we leave them because we are not happy, we make room for the right people to come along, for the right people to find us too. We make room for our people to see us, to choose us. When we lose comfort, we get to build through resilience, through strength, through courage in the discomfort. Discomfort can be a great teacher if we just stick with it. So sure, comfort is great, but then when we really want to grow and change, this happens in discomfort. When we lose material things that we used to associate with our self-worth, that we used to think are equivalent to how much we value and honor ourselves, we start to see what matters. We start to see that our worth isn't associated with anything outside of us. No matter what we do or don't, we are still worthy. We are still lovable. We are still here. We take up our own space. We exist in the world. We belong anyway. So how do we start over without the overwhelm and without the pressure, without the expectation to fix it all? How do we move through it with grace and at our own pace? How do we honor our own rhythms while we rebuild this life? Here are some things that have helped me navigate, that continue to help me navigate as I continue to unpack this whole chapter. I will share more about this season of my life at a later time. For now, I want to share some things that have helped me personally, and they continue to anchor me in this phase. And I hope that you can find some kind of comfort or solace. The expectation that you need to get back on your feet right away, start fixing right away, start being productive right away. No, just take it easy, be kind to yourself, honor your own rhythms. If you need to take a break, please take a break. It's not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world. I thought it was. When I lost my job a few months ago, I thought it was the end of the world. And you know what? It really isn't. It used to be one of the scariest things. I used to think that would be like the scariest thing that would ever happen to me. And while it was scary, it didn't kill me. It made me more resilient. It made me want to look around me for solutions, for opportunities. It made me want to choose myself even more. So choose yourself, honor your rhythms, reclaim your practices and rituals and hobbies, anything that you have let go or parked or decided to stop doing because you were too busy, you were too anything to do it. Reclaim those, pick them up again. They will nurture you, they will feed your soul, and they will mostly just keep you sane so you don't lose your shit in this process. Redefine what success looks like to you. I am sure that if you've had to start over, you've had an idea of what success looks like before, and now that is different. So go ahead and redefine it. Like, this is your playground now. Go ahead and redefine what it would actually look like for you to achieve success and to have success. And it's okay for that to look very different from everyone around you, and it's okay for it to look different from what you thought success looked like before. Reconnect with your body. And I talk about this a lot because connection with the body is very important in this work. So by reconnecting to your body, I mean to listen, to really tune in, to listen to what your body needs, move the way you want, nurture your body the way you feel like it needs it, and listen to what it needs. If it needs to rest, rest. If it needs to move, move. Don't punish your body. Your body carries you through this whole process, through this whole life. So that needs to be a priority. Seek connection, seek your tribe, seek true, honest connections that uplift you, that honor you, that see you. If you have one person to go to them. Open up, let them hold you, let them support you. We really don't pay enough attention to that. For the fear of rejection or for the fear of being misunderstood, sometimes we don't speak. We don't share much even with the people who know us and who love us and who care about us. So I invite you to open your heart up, open up. Tell someone that you need them. Tell someone that you need help. Ask for support. Ask for someone to hold you. People will come through for you. Sometimes, and I've done that in the past, I wouldn't go to my friends, although I know they would love to be there for me, but I still wouldn't go to them because that was my own problem. That was my own fear. So when I got over that, I found an incredible amount of love and support that I wouldn't have tapped into otherwise. So trust the people in your life who want to be there, who want to support you, and let them. Finally, embrace the small steps, embrace the small comebacks, the little steps that you take every day to rebuild your life. Maybe your comeback won't happen overnight. Maybe it won't be fireworks, but you can guarantee it happening by taking small steps every day and by celebrating that and celebrating yourself in the process. Some days, your biggest achievement will be that you got out of bed that day. Celebrate that, honor that, cherish it. Things may look different now, so take the win. Celebrate it and honor yourself anyway. What you discover is that losing everything was never really about the loss. There was not really much of a loss. As much as it was a really intense redirection that took you somewhere where you can make room to choose what you want, to choose to build a life you want, to choose to build a life that brings you joy. You didn't lose yourself. You lost the versions of yourself that you had to carry maybe to survive or to get you through a certain chapter of your life. And they're gone now because they don't support you anymore. They're not good for you anymore. And what's left now is the chance for you to choose differently, to create differently. So if you are in the aftermath, the chaos of having to start over, the ashes of your old life, please know this: you are not behind, you are not broken, you are not a failure. This is not something to be ashamed of, this is not something to run away from. You are just here simply beginning again. And every beginning requires an ending. And those beginnings that are born from such endings are usually very, very powerful, because the version of you that gets to be reborn is so much more powerful than all the previous versions of yourself collectively. So embrace it, steer into the skid, and I will see you back here next time.